YouTube, it's your boy Estefanos, and I'm back with a new video. Man, I'm gonna say this right now. I I never thought I'd love talking about superheroes this much. I keep saying I'm gonna change what I'm gonna talk about, but I always go back to talk about Spider-Man and Invincible because they're just so good, man. Especially like like the characters, bro. But today I've been doing some thinking, and I'm gonna make this is probably I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not gonna say this is my last Invincible video because that's most likely gonna be a lie. But you know what? It's okay. But anyways, this is this. I hope you all have had a. I hope you all having a good day as always. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're almost at 100 subscribers. And without further ado, let's get started. So, I've glazed season 3 a lot this year. Season 3 was really good, like so good. Like from the Mark versus Cecil, uh, Mark getting his blue suit, Omni-Man, Alan the Aliens breakout in the space prison with Battle Beast, the Smoke Seeker, Powerplex, the Invincible War, and oh my god, if you all thought Nolan and Mark fighting in the end of season 1 was bad, nah. The fact that people were hyping up this finale, not the finale itself, but this fight, and that it's considered one of the greatest battles of all time. Oh. Mark versus Conquest needs to be talked on its own, but also, I forgot to mention him, but a lot of people seem to have mixed feelings about him. Oliver Grayson, aka Kid Omni. Now, it's pretty obvious by the start of season 3 that Oliver really looks up to Mark and their dad. And if it weren't on his track record, you wouldn't blame him. I would look up to Nolan too. I mean, heck, we all looked up to Nolan in season 1. Like Mark, we thought he was a great dad, a great hero, and that we wanted to be like him and do great things. But as you all know, throughout the season, Nolan's true colors were revealed. And personally, yeah, no, Earth isn't on good terms with it. People were expecting Nolan to come back in the end of season 3. I'm kind of glad he didn't, because this dude would have been attacked. He would have been attacked before he even entered the atmosphere. Because they have those space stations that are on Earth. So Cecil would have known Nolan and Alan were coming, and they were attacked. Because Cecil doesn't know what goes on in space, so of course they're gonna send their best heroes to attack him. But personally, it's gonna make things worse between Mark and Cecil, even though we don't. Yeah. But the main point I want to make for this video today is a lot of people have issues with Oliver. So as you all know, Oliver Grayson is the half brother of Mark Grayson and the son of Nolan Grayson and the oh gosh, and his stepwife, his other wife, Andressa. Basically, in season 2, we all know Nolan left Earth after his massacre of Chicago and headed off into space. And I was thinking of him. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, but Nolan was not in the best of space after what he did in Chicago, and so he was thinking he saw this spaceship of aliens and decided to save them, and he took them back to their planet, which is called Thraxa. They're basically like space mantises, and basically they were so impressed, they were thankful for him that he became their emperor, and let's just say he got his A with the queen, I guess. Wait, I forgot if Andressa is the queen of Thraxa, but because Nolan became emperor, or they just made him the emperor, and basically they had a son, and that's Oliver. And basically Nolan knew, because of the specific breeding rules for Viltrumites, he had Nuzal, whatever the Nuzal, wow, oh my god, Nunalzot to Earth to bring Mark to help protect his brother. And of course, that's when we meet Nolan again. And let's just say things are. And my biggest gripe with this episode is that everyone thinks, especially after season 3, that Mark is a hypocrite. I'm not denying that, but this is my issue. Y'all really think Mark forgave his dad? He did not. Did you not hear this man curse his dad so many times? He called him out for calling his mom a pet. He legit, like, he legit cursed him like you. Like, he legit said it. I swear, whenever I see people watching, like, Invincible, they call him a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite for killing and, like, and not like having people be forgiven, but he deserves to be forgiven. But when it comes to his dad and, like, him forgiving his dad, but he didn't forgive his dad. That's what pisses me. I just want to clarify that because I just want to voice, this is just me voicing how I feel. Like, if you don't agree, I'm not hating on you. I'm just saying that, yeah. But basically, back to what I'm talking. Oliver was basically born when 3 Viltrumites attacked Thraxa, and Mark and Nolan had to, like, fight them off. And of course, that ended with a lot of dead bodies, and Mark getting stabbed by Ftula, and then Lucan, who was holding his guts after getting sliced open by Nolan, and his back's broken, and then he's taken into the Viltrumite ship where he's going to be executed for his crimes. And then after Mark was healed up, he stayed on Thraxa to help rebuild the damage. And basically, Andressa had told Mark to bring Oliver to Earth. As you know, Thraxans live short lifespans compared to humans, like 1 year max. And so, because of his Viltrumite side, he would have grown up he would have grown up way older than most of the Thraxans, and it would have been half of them would have been dead by the time he was like 1 years old or halfway. But because of his Viltrumite side, it helps him slow aging, so he gets to live a long life. And so, Mark takes him to Earth, and then Debbie, of course, at first is upset that Nolan has left him to deal with his mess. But of course, Debbie, being the goat that she is, takes Oliver and names him after her father, Oliver. So on the wiki, Oliver is he's called Oliver Grayson 2, which at first I was confused. Then I remembered Oliver is that's Debbie's dad, so it makes sense. So and then we get to the season 2 finale where Angstrom's holding Oliver and Debbie hostage to get to Mark, and then of course Debbie and Oliver are helpless. Whenever I watch reactions to YouTube, to the season 2 finale, it's so funny because everyone expects Oliver's powers to activate. To be honest, I was kind of like that, and I get where people were coming from, but now, yeah. But anyways, this man legit broke Debbie's arm when she called him the villain, which she's not wrong, and and Mark's valid for this. He pummeled Angstrom Livy into the ground and got stranded in a random dimension. But thanks to future versions of the Guardians, they brought him back. And then, of course, that brings us to season 3, where Oliver's powers start activating. And of course, Oliver, this guy is smart. I'll give him this. This kid knows how to lie. Damn, this kid evolved fast. This man legit whenever Debbie said not to do something, he did the opposite. Whenever Mark said something, he did the opposite. In episode 1, you could really sympathize with him because he looked up to his brother and wanted to be a hero because of his powers activating so fast, but Debbie wants him to have a normal life. Oh boy. And then we get to episode 2 where Mark has his dispute with Cecil, and then Oliver asks, "Why didn't you kill him?" This is where people got concerned with Oliver. And then, oh boy, we get to episode 3 where Oliver gets his suit, calls himself Kid Omni-Man, and then he really questions why everyone hates their dad. And then this is the next day, and then he ends up killing the Maulers when Mark told him not to go home and when he was taking on the Duke. Now, when it comes to this, everyone is mixed on Oliver. On one hand, he wasn't he was wrong for killing them because you just killed them with ease, so that makes you look threatening. And of course, from the episode's opening, villain that the whole part of the theme of the season is like villains being redeemed. But Oliver believes, well, they were villains. They deserve to die. Why should they be given second chances? They're just gonna ruin lives. And like you guys told me, my powers are a gift, and that I should use this to help people. Shouldn't I be responsible to stop the bad guys from hurting other people? And people are and the funny thing is, he's not wrong. He's right to an extent where you shouldn't keep some villains. Some villains will never stop. Some villains will just keep on attacking you. And Mark kind of learns this at the end of the season. But for the first half, everyone, including most people, were on Mark's side that life is precious. And then as soon as Oliver started talking crazy and said, "It's not precious. People kill each other all the time. They're not special compared to us. They're normal." And is he wrong? No. I don't know why people are so shocked. I think it's because because it sounded so Omni-Man-esque. And then bro drops the hardest, biggest shocker. But don't you think that was right? This kid is a menace, bruh. So yeah, people would consider Oliver annoying from this point. Like they already kind of did. But this is me coming in defense of bro. Bro is not human. And like I know what people are gonna find counters to my argument, but how is he supposed to like think as a human, care for humans when he's not even that? He grew up on a completely different planet. He's not even partly human. He's only Viltrumite and Thraxan. And he legit saw his planet get destroyed and his mom's arm broken. And then finds out his brother killed that man. And so it makes sense. Why wouldn't killing villains why is that wrong? And like he really makes a star contrast to Mark. What if Mark had sided with his dad, which was kind of the whole plot of like the evil Mark Graysons. And so people are kind of like saying that Oliver is completely wrong, but in episode 6 and in episode 7 and finally episode 8, Mark slowly starts to realize that Oliver wasn't wrong. In episode 6, Oliver was asking will everyone forgive Nolan because he did save more lives than he took. But that doesn't also excuse the lives that he took. And so Oliver's asking, so is he a bad guy forever? And he's asking all the right questions. And it's really blunt, but like it's true though, because like me personally, I'm not saying Nolan should be forgiven. I'm not saying his actions are excused. I'm just saying it's complicated. That's how good that's how good this season is. And that he has a good memory. People forget this. Oliver has a great memory. So he remembered his home planet being attacked, and he remembered Angstrom bashing his mom's arm. So of course he's gonna think murder is right when he finds out his older brother killed that man. He said it in the episode. He killed the Maulers. I know. And then in the end, when Angstrom came back in episode 7 during the Invincible War, everyone was on Oliver's side telling him to kill Angstrom, so he doesn't do this again. And then Angstrom slipped away, only with an arm. I like this. The details. Angstrom losing an arm, like Debbie. I see what you were doing, Robert. I respect you. And then when Mark thinks he killed Conquest, he goes visit Oliver in the hospital, and he says, "You were right. You were right about the Maulers. You were right about Angstrom. They hurt so many lives. Even Angstrom almost hurt you and killed you and Mommy. So if anyone else ever put my family or anyone else I love at risk, I won't hesitate to kill them." Now, me personally, I'm kind of concerned where Mark's gonna go from this point, but it makes sense. This guy is going through so much. But I'm also curious for what's going to happen to Oliver. But like I said, I'm not justifying Oliver's actions, but he is considered Invincible's most complex character, and I like how the show doesn't go shies away from it. But anyways, what you guys think of Oliver? Did you guys agree with his takes, or did you think bro is a mini Omni-Man? or Omni-Man Jr.? Comment down below and let's have a discussion. But yeah, as always, hope you all have a good video. And most of y'all will probably go back to school soon. So yeah, hope you tell me how your experiences at school have been, and let's have a discussion. And as always, make sure you all have a great day. Take care and peace. And tune in for more videos. Trust me, I'm gonna upload more again. It's just this summer I was so busy.